But that man received a large roll of cash from the defendant. Then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think even someone like myself can believe that he was just another bellboy. It seems we've finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony.
The rest?
Oh yes, please do tell us more.
Okay. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room, and the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I just went in the bathroom and then back to my seat.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, went to the defendant's room?
Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident, I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honour. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying? Excuse me? I may be a poor underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying.
I think the point is, where did you watch all of this from, Mr. Powers?
From the door from of the bathroom in my left eye, in a sort of sneaky spy light. I knew he was spying.
Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know.
He gave something to the person inside the room. I said, hold it. Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us some more details. Okay. I should probably only ask him one question at a time. He gave something to this person? Yeah. And what was this something? If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I?
This implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers?
I think it was something kind of small.
This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please try to remember what it was.
I'll try.
In the meantime, let's talk of another point, namely what the bellboy did next.
So after he gave the person inside the room the thing, the old guy left without going into the room. Okay, so who was the person? So who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
Only an arm?
Then you're saying you didn't... Oops. Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah.
I'd like to summarise the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. as to the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm.
Yeah, it was just like that.
Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honour. I think it's of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off.
Well, let's see. I think it was... No.
If you remember, please add to your testimony.
Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some kind of wooden statue. A statue? Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. If I saw the actual thing again, I'd probably remember, you know. But after this trial to proceed, I'm going to have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. You're going to have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix.
Well, Mr. Powers, let's continue with your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that?
Hold. A wooden bear.
Objection!
What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where'd the objection come from? Speak up!
It was me, Your Honour. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad's going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honour. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw, was it this? Oh, hey, that's it. That is the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out.
Oh, I recall we found this in Matt Engarde's mansion. The defendant's house? What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honour. Shade the killer assassinated Wonka Reader in his room, and then stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found in Mr. Engarde's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honour. Mr. Matt Engarde is the killer's client. Order! Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot he knew about it too.
I think it's clear there's no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something. Must be something we overlooked. Your Honour, a minute please.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There's still a few points left we've not fully explored.
What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what question or point would you like to explore further?
The person who received the bear. There's one thing in Mr. Power's testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah!
What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, at least give us a good reason why.
Yeah. Sorry. Actually, so I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What?
Really?
I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm, it was a Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it. You've got to be kidding!
Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers?
Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai.
Order! Order! Looks like you've dug your own grave yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. Adrian was caught wearing the costume, remember?
So the person who took the little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt On-Guard is the Nickel Samurai. Thanks to the defense, you've made up all the clearer.
What am I supposed to do now? Mia, help! You don't have time to act lost. You've got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry!
Now I'll bring this cross-examination.
Your Honour.
Again, Mr. Wright? We've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony. It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright.
We have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered.
What are you trying to pull?
Testimony? Mr. Powers' testimony, of course. Huh?
Objection!
Your inanity stupefies me, Mr. Wright. We've already clarified all questionable points during the cross-examination just now. Wasting time like this, calling the testimony questionable, I'd say your head's questionable here. I agree. The cross-examination went smoothly. There's nothing wrong with the testimony.
You're being very persistent today. Because I can't let it end like this. I know my outburst just now was a little questionable.
Questionable indeed.
But there really are some questionable points left to discuss, Your Honour.
What are you trying to pull?
Right, okay. The bear itself, then. I think it's fairly obvious the bear itself is very questionable.
The bear, Mr. Wright?
It was found at Mr. On-Guard's mansion. However, Mr. On-Guard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he's not had a chance to go home.
Oh!
I think Your Honour's already figured out what I'm getting at. It is not possible that it was Mr. On-Guard who took the bear to his mansion.
That's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There's no way time-wise for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Objection!
Disaster averted.
You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at On-Guard's mansion. We have the area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape.
I can't believe it. That butler, all this time he was the killer.
The killer and On-Guard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at On-Guard's mansion as its butler. What a bold move! The bear figurine was brought back to the On-Guard mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was to be arrested, On-Guard had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during the investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now.
This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
I think we've heard enough. We now know why the bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in the room. Everything's become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Engard. I see no reason for the trial to continue, therefore I will hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honour, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you?
I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Do I? What should I do? Well, I have to, don't I?
Objection!
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is one dirty trick. Your Honour, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at Engard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is it's possible a different person is the killer's real client.
The real client?
Yes.
Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client and therefore the real murderer?
Take that!
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt Engard for the crime by wearing a spare nickel samurai costume. Ah, then the nickel samurai's arm that I saw, that could very well have been Miss Andrews.
What about Mr. Engard?
If you please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then find this figure at Mr. Engard's mansion.
A well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defence's logic, besides which there's no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount the possibility either.
What's with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell Engard did it. I can't believe the defence would go so far as to pin the girl on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this one fight I can't give up on.
Order! Order! All destructive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom! Your Honour, for the benefit of the defence, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defence's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear?
He's right. The killer did specially bring the bear to Engard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it?
Absolutely. And I'm sure once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honour, the prosecution calls a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. Who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honour. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honour. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you tried to pin the guilt on Adrian.
I swear this demon will pay.
Mr. Nick!
Pearls? Where's Mia?
I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
A really strong power?
Mr. Nick, your phone!
It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Ooh, that's good, pal. What about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where Dakilla and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all the hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. Ah. I could see a circus tent. Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So that was Maya that called you away? She's locked in a dusty little room right now, and I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? Only one, pal, very big circus. Mine's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Oi, draw a circle on that map, about 300-foot radius from the main tent, hurry. And? I could see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, there was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building, maybe 3rd floor or so. I heard her. Old office building. Good stuff, pal. Alright, just hang in there a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later. Don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. It looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer.
Court will now reconvene. Dakilla, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to the client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you've been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder.
I understand.
Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews?
Of course I have.
You've seen it before? That's right. It's only natural the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court as to the bear's secrets?
All right. Why? Why does she... Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. In its centre is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewellery box just by looking at it.
So this figurine is a container of sorts, is it?
I bet that's where the suicide note is. Looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, it's superb craftsmanship. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Looks like there really was something to the bear after all.
Hold it!
A puzzle. That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly?
Hold it!
So you can take it apart? How do one go about doing that? Well, first you turn its tail to the right and push it in.
Oh, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Oh, most interesting.
The boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again.
Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on.
I think he's lost it.
So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart?
Hold it!
And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it, that's what I thought. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
Then this was a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for one. So it was a present from Miss Andrews.
Witness, let's continue.
Whoops.
Witness, let's continue with your testimony.
Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, one and myself. Souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are many people with the same bear in this country.
But it looks like it could be easily broken. But if someone wanted to get what's inside.
Well, it's a toy. But it can never be the same again once it's broken.
Hold it!
Who else knows that this bear's actually a jewellery box? I never told anyone. As long as one never told anyone either, there's only the two of us that knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course it means Mr. Ongard didn't know, right? I think that's about all I'm going to get for now. Only Carida and Andrews know how to open it.
Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you've come to realise that there was one very important fact we've uncovered, and that's this. The bear is actually a jewellery box. Now we've agreed to that point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that's this. What's inside the box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness.
Yeah?
You are the only one who can open this. Please.
There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted?
What's that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what it is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Wonka former manager, Celeste Impax. Until now, no one knew of the whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Wonka himself. It seems Celeste Impax had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name in this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Order! Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Because it had already been taken by the killer.
Everything's going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now the suicide note's been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think.
Now I believe it's only appropriate for the contents of the note to be made known.
I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it for her sake.
I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honour, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Very well.
The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impax left to us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and thrown away by Enguarde, about being engaged to Corrida and Enguarde's role in destroying Nat, and about how she decided in her despair to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impax had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Enguarde. Then what? Our intention, Your Honour, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness?
Yes. On the night of the murder, one was going to make the contents of the note public. At the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference.
My word! Madame Enguarde values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop the note from being made public. At any cost.
It's Enguarde's fault the woman killed herself. And this time he even went as far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible, what a selfish person. I guess there are slimeball laws out there who defend these creeps too.
There's no room for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain the suicide note. And the only person who needed this note so badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems we've come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish and deserves no sympathy from anyone.
How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet. You know you must do. No, I have to carry on and buy more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those. The gavel's already in the judge's hand, Phoenix. Hurry. The note of the figurine, which one of these should I pursue?
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honour. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care he's trying to get a killer off the hook. The assassin took this with him from the crime scene after murdering Mr. Corrida, at the request of his client, of course.
What's your point, Mr. Wright?
I don't think it's possible that Mr. the Killer's client was Matt on guard. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. You can't tell just by looking at it that this bear is really a jewellery box. The chances that Matt on guard thought the note was inside this bear are 0 to none.
Oh! I didn't think of it that way.
Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. After all, there is no reason why Mr. On Guard would ever want a jewellery box like this.
Order! Order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion?
It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on that one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently.
I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defence seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What's that? A very small video camera, Your Honour. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying?
What the? I thought the spy camera was in my possession.
Man on guard is the victim of both, and the victim both thought the other of their... Matt on guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim, Juan Corrida, was being spied upon. His personal life was being watched over by none other than Matt on guard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honour.
Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Or sort of?
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. This camera I have here is not that same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this
Gumshoe's bug sweeper.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. On guard's fingerprints were on there?
Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence?
I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious Mr. On guard lured the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along.
He's got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? Mommy is the man bad guy killer. Shh, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so Ew, nasty. Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Just running away like a frightened child work. I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove the point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I'd really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded. For not remembering to look at the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden?
I think it's time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What's this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? What has to be looked into? I ain't got a fucking clue. But there's obviously something. I have an objection, Your Honour.
That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
Your Honour, the defence has no intention of letting this go so easily.
You're beginning to sound desperate.
That's just your imagination, Your Honour. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Isn't that what I just said?
You're telling me I forgot something?
You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence.
Take that!
Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I do believe some special examination is needed.
I know where this is going.
But I think the item should be the examiner's to defence's grey matter.
Whoops.
Mr. Wright, after this trial is over, I'd like to see you in my chambers. I think there's a few things we need to discuss.
Yes, Your Honour.
If you're going to speak, at least use your brain to make up something intelligible.
Fuck it.
Take that!
Okay. It's not this, is
Take
it?
that!
No. Okay.
Take that!
note. Gotcha.
Is that Miss Impact's suicide note?
Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside the bear, but the bear is in my possession till only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analysed.
Oh,
So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Ms. Impax or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed.
Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be such a...
Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you are the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ongard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you?
Your Honour, the defence is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever.
But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it.
What?
Recall the witness's testimony concerning the figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle was the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Ongard. I did no such thing.
Right, if you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show to the court some evidence to support your theory.
Mr. Edgeworth, you are the one who presented the scrap paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution.
Oh. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note?
It's as the defence has stated, the handwriting has yet to be analysed.
If that's the case, it seems that yet again we've reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible.
This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Ma will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request both the prosecution and the defence further investigate.
Handwriting analysis my part. This is the lawyer trying to buy more time. Ongard is guilty. Any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 Guilty!
What's that noise?
It's Gumshoe.
Hello, Gumshoe?
What's with him? What's with the sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal, I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was a way to make it up to you, I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal, but two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm gonna keep looking for him, pal, don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But... don't tell me, we don't have any more. Guilty! 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 Yeah. You hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't for us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that.
Mr. Wright, will you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honour.
I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after.
Hold on, Your Honour. Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honour. You were saying?
Mr. Wright, this is a court of law!
I'm sorry, Your Honour, but...
I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
This time I really can't do anything.
Court is adjourned for the day.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honour.
Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honour's time. For what purpose?
We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time.
Can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honour.
Wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for the day and reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes, please, Your Honour. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honour.
Very well. At the prosecution's request, the court will now take a 30-minute recess. Be advised, I will not allow another recess today.
I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess for the day.